Welcome back, everyone. Today we're going to continue on the 62 International C100 project. Let's see if we can get this old girl running again. I don't see coolant. Don't see any coolant in there. It's pretty crusty, but it's damp in there, so there's still some in the system. That's interesting. That means hopefully there's still coolant in it and it's not inside the cylinders by now. Take a look at the engine oil. That is a serious dipstick. Oh, it is on there. It's on the full line and it's black, so it's not like it was just added. So that's a good sign given the leaks that I've seen. And it is an automatic. Oops. Oh wow, that transmission fluid's pretty darn clean. Doesn't smell burnt or anything. It's a little low, but not bad. Wow, I wonder if that old automatic still will work. We'll have to find out. Super cool. Let's see if we can turn this thing over. I'm hoping this motor is not locked up because it'd be cool to keep it. Push on the old fan. Uh-oh. See if I can get a better angle at it. Oh man, that is not good. It is locked solid. Well, that is not a good sign. I'm gonna get a ratchet and socket. Let's start on the crankshaft. We're gonna see what size that is and get a ratchet and a socket and see if we can get this thing to turn over with a little love. Got a ratchet. Let's see what we can come up with here. Appears to be a 15/16. Oh man, I can barely get on here. Oh, what? Well, that is really good news. The crankshaft actually is turning. So what's locked up? AC compressor turns, generator turns. It's a water pump. Water pump's froze up. So that's what it is. It's not the motor, it's the water pump. That's a huge relief. So I was able to turn it over with the wrench on the crankshaft really easily. There's no resistance at all. But this water pump is froze solid, so that's not going to be good. We can fire it without it, just not for very long. I'll have to get a water pump before we can run it too long, but now that I've turned it by hand that easy, I know the motor's free. So the next thing is going to be, let's get a battery in this thing and see what happens. Let's see if we can get a battery hooked up here. This positive terminal, which is, oh, this is nice. The positive is black, the negative is red. Apparently, the old auto parts store did not have the appropriate colors when the gentleman needed them. Okay, there's our positive. And negative. No big fires jumping out. frame ground. We'll clamp this frame ground on here too. I don't see any smoke being let out. A wise man once told me that once you let the smoke out, you can't put it back in. And I have never proved him wrong. What do we have here? Park. Do we have any lights? No lights. Ooh, we have one light. That's amazing. One rear light. Shut those off. Nothing. We have little to nothing. I'm sure my battery's not dead. This helps. Nothing. Alrighty. What do we have? Starter solenoid here. There should be what do you want? Stop it. Stop it. Let's see what we can finagle here. Go. Okay. See what happens here. She is definitely not thrilled about this idea. Best thing to do when it's not thrilled about it is just give it more power. That fixes everything. What? I should probably cut the belt so the frozen water pump isn't dragging. No way, it turns over. Oh, this is cool. Don't worry, no good belt has been harmed. Now they're petrified. Come on. Come out of there. Come on. Petrified in their original position. Alright, so we know it turns over. We know that we don't have any power to the key. It's probably a neutral safety switch problem. I do see a neutral safety switch on the steering column, so that could be an issue there. But we're going to not worry about safety switches right now. No time for that right now. Let's get this air cleaner off of here. The old oil bath air cleaner. Gross. Better put that in the bed so I don't roll off and leave it. Alright, so we could take something off like a plug wire or coil wire and test for spark and do all that good nonsense. Or we can just shove some fuel in it and see what happens. So that's what I'm going to do. Yes, this thing is dry. Yes, it's been sitting for a long time. But we know it turns over really easily. And usually when an engine has been sitting and it has a rust ring in it, you'll have resistance, crunching sounds, and then it lets go. Whereas this was smooth, almost too smooth, like no compression smooth. So I'll see about that. So what I'm going to do here, because I don't really want to take all the plugs out and oil the cylinders since it turns over, I went ahead and mixed some 91 octane with two-stroke oil, a lot of two-stroke oil, and it's going to smoke like no tomorrow if it does have spark, and it will start, or it just won't start. So that's how we tell if it has spark. So what we're going to do, pour some down the vent, a little bit in the cylinder, into the intake, through the carburetor, and now it didn't try to run me over, so I know it's in gear, in park. There you go. Let's just see what happens. It was complaining about it, but I almost thought I heard, oh yeah, I definitely smell fire, so we'll just give it more fuel. It fixes everything. Always put your fuel bottle away, so if it does puff a fireball at you from a stuck valve, you don't light your fuel source on fire, because you'll need that. No way. You have got to be kidding. That was a fire. It momentarily, just give it what it wants. There you go. Drink up, little buddy. Give it all of the sauce. Here we go. I think our problem is this crappy old Optima battery, because it definitely wanted to go. Let's see if we can get better contact on here. This little jump box is pretty impressive. The best part is I didn't buy it. I borrowed it from my buddy. That's the best part. Thinking. There it goes. Let's see what happens. Yeah, this is definitely not enough power here. So we're going to take a break, and I'm going to find a battery that actually has some fire left in it. Stole another battery out of another project that's patiently waiting for me. just gonna go straight for all the amps. Come on here. Alright, let's see what happens here. So the two-stroke oil in the fuel, I've either completely wet-fouled all the plugs, or I'm lubricating the cylinders while we're turning it over, so I'm doing two things. You know what? Here we go. It's so close. Oh wow, the key kind of sort of tried. The door jumped out and got me. Let's give it way more than normal. See what that does. Seems like this battery is just not having it either, and the jet box is dead. Go figure. Gotta charge things. Whenever you're dealing with these old junk cars, you can't have a smart battery charger. You gotta have one of these old dumb ones. Like this one. If it comes in a metal box, it's usually good, and the more amps on the front means it's gonna really tear stuff up. The way to tell if it has a lot of amps, if your sticker's missing, is when you turn it on, it should make a ping sound, and your lights should dim in your neighborhood. Alright, let's see what this does. All of it. So whenever you have a weak battery and an old points ignition system, they don't spark very well, and with an old tired motor, not a lot of compression, you need all the help you can get. I should have a fully charged battery. This one's probably pretty dead, but we're going to try it anyway just because I'm impatient. So, here we go. It's got to be one of these cables. Oh yeah. Something sparked there. Everything's changed. There we go. Wow. I think it's gonna go. Where's the exhaust on this thing? Pretty confident that we're getting somewhere. So let's change perspectives. after losing spark, I've played with a bunch of stuff, scratching my head. And I did ohm out the coil. Everything was fine there. Coils are usually the last thing that go bad, but this is a kind of a different one for me. Cleaned the points. They look really good. Nothing wrong with them. They were adjusted right. But I had no continuity between the actual contact here and where the wire attached here. So I started checking, and sure enough, I pulled them out, and right in there, you can see right below there is burnt. So it actually burnt right here on the back side of where the wires connect to. And so I started looking, and the coil was wired backwards. I've never seen that before, and I don't know how it was firing momentarily. But I changed that around, and I went ahead and unhooked the ignition wire. I went and got some new points and stuck in it, and lo and behold, she has spark again. So that's interesting. I know points can burn in many ways. Usually the contacts just wear out, or they get corroded in the point where they actually make contact. But this is a new one for me, having them burn right in there. So anyway, the local auto parts store had one on the shelf, threw it in there, and now we can try this again. So I'm gonna go ahead and get all my stuff hooked up. I went ahead and just ran a ignition bypass wire, so I'm not relying on the old ignition switch, because the ignition switch is not making good contact. So this is my ignition power wire that goes to the positive side of the coil. And let me get you guys on a stand so you can actually see if it'll single fire. Alright, so now that I've got some two-stroke oil in it, in all the cylinders, because it's fired quite a few times, I know that those cylinders have some lubrication, so I'm good with brake cleaner for now. So let's see what we got here. Nothing. Let's see here. There we go. We've got fire again. She fires off. A couple of strange noises, but she's alive. Doesn't sound too bad. Trying to moderate the brake clean to air ratio. there you have it. She is alive and smoking like crazy. That is the old nasty engine oil leaks from what appears to be both valve covers on to the exhaust manifolds and the exhaust below, but it doesn't sound terrible. It sounds like there's a little bit of tapping in the valve train. I'm sure it'll take a while to get some oil pressure up there. After I get a water pump, because the water pump's froze up, I don't want to run it too long with the water pump froze up. So I need to get belts, I need to get a water pump. Unfortunately, no one locally has a water pump for an international, go figure. So I'll get one of those ordered up. We'll get some coolant in it and hook up a fuel supply. I doubt the fuel pump's any good. If it was anywhere else in the world besides Arizona, there is a possibility that the diaphragm in the fuel pump could still be okay, but I highly doubt it. So water pump, new belts, and hook up a fuel supply to the old Holly 2-barrel, and we'll see if this thing will run long enough and see what kind of sounds it makes, and if this motor is going to be okay. If I can get it running for a long enough time to get some heat in it, then I can do a compression check to make sure all the cylinders are healthy. And if that's the case, if it is a healthy motor, I'd like to keep this thing in this truck. I think these international motors are super cool. They're more industrial than anything, and they're kind of fun to tinker with. I had a 392 years ago, but it didn't have as good a luck with that one. It had a bad oil pump problem in it. But, so stay tuned. Next time, I'll have some parts. We can get this thing to run for a lot longer, get a feel for the condition of the engine, and possibly go from there. I'm going to go ahead and clean this thing up. I started going through last night and I got the seat out. I still just love the plaid, but I'm starting to pull the floor mat out. And unfortunately, there is some rot in the floors on both sides, but the majority of the cab is in really good shape. A lot of this is going to clean up, and I think I can buff the inside, have the seat redone. I'm going to have to fabricate some floor panels, but I definitely want to get the AC working. I've never driven an International with a factory automatic transmission, so I think that would be kind of cool to have. I might try it. Eventually, I'd like to go to an overdrive. But I did try some of the patina stuff on this tailgate, and look how the paint came back. Really, really cool. It actually went from that to this, which is cool to get some more color out of it. I did a little spot right here, and you can tell it took the rust right off of it. So eventually I'm going to have to do the old Comet wash like Freiberger does to get some of the rust off of the paint below it, because a lot of times this will come from a pit and it kind of grows over the paint and runs down. So if you start messing with it, sometimes you can get a lot of the paint is down below and you get a cool look like this. I don't know. I'm torn on the whole patina thing. I love it on this truck just because it tells such a story of this faithful old reliable International, and honestly these trucks are so ugly that they're cool. I know that sounds backwards, but that's what I think. They're so ugly, they're cool. I don't really like these super shiny and restored. They just look funny. The bed doesn't actually match to the cab. I've always thought it was so goofy. It almost looks like a 50s Ford fridge side bed, but it's not. It is International. They are not the same. But they don't even really match. I mean, the bed, this curves in. If you see how this curves in, this curves out. It's really goofy, and I always thought they were super ugly. But with the weathered look, the old man stance, the original caps, I dig the 4-light front end. I think this thing's just super cool. I think we can make something of this. I'm picturing it slammed, bigger smoothies with the original caps on them. Maybe we'll try to do some sort of faux patina on some bigger smoothies. Get this thing lowered down, disc brakes on the front, power steering, power brakes, AC, and just make a cool cruiser out of it. I'd love to drive this out to the farm, put it on the highway again, make some more memories with it. Its story's not done yet. We're gonna get some glass for it eventually, and yeah, it'll continue making some memories. So anyway, thanks for tuning in. Sorry this episode is a little bit rough around the edges. My GoPro was down, so I'm using my phone. I know that's not the greatest. I know the sound's terrible. I need to get better at this. I've got so many cool projects to show you guys. This one is just one of many that I want to build up on the channel. If this is something you guys like and you'd like to see this thing built on out, I'd really appreciate it if you give me a comment down below. Let me know what I can do better, what you'd like to see. Let me know if you like this old truck. And if you could, it'd really help me out if you could like and subscribe to the channel. It doesn't cost anything, but it would help me get some motivation to start doing these things for you guys, for some entertainment on the side. I've already got a ton of project trucks and cars that we can work on. I've got a 53 Monterey Mercury that I'd like to do with the flathead. Got a D100 that I'd like to do that's in similar, actually better condition to this truck, but it's super cool. Also a short bed. So if you would, I'd really appreciate the like and the subscribe. That helps the channel kind of grow. And if this channel kind of grows and takes off, I'd really like to share these kind of projects with you. I get excited about them, and I love these old trucks and bringing them back to life and modernizing them just a little bit so they can hang with modern traffic and create more stories and more memories. So thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate the support. Have a great day.